walking, couch, purring, bed leaping, and of course companionship.
Wonderful. And what breed would you say Nico is?
I'd have to go with a tabbyish Persian kind of mix.
Tremendous cat.
I'd also like to point out her coat's wonderful mix of colors. Is it black, gray, gray-black, brown?
Somewhere in between.
Indeed.
You know, it's always special when we get to see a cat like this.
Just look how she struts.
It's like she owns the place.
And how she's so incredibly cute in her indifference to commands.
A strong-willed feline.
Ah, and see how she curls up and cuddles her person.
The pitch on her purring is simply perfect.
Nice one.
I know. Fantastic cat.
Fantastic indeed. But really the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Nico is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Oh, no.
You're listening to
KXVS.
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 The voice of Stockton.
Hot damn. See you licking frosting from your own hands. Want another taste? I'm begging, yes.
Welcome back, viewers. We are here with special guest Molly Magee. How are we doing today?
Good.
She brought coffee for everybody, so we're doing much better as well. And you know me, your boy Marcelis. I got Renee over here and Alex. So we're going to start off with talking about a book that Renee brought in. Go ahead, Renee.
For our literature section for everybody. Okay, so this one is called 60-Second Shiatsu. So if you guys can see that. 60-Second Shiatsu. This is how to energize, erase pain, and conquer tension in 1 minute. So it's by Eva Shaw. So she kind of broke it down. And there are other books that you can find on Shiatsu, and it gives you more in-depth graphs and everything of what the meridians are and all the points on the body of the foot and, you know, wherever it is at the body. But I just wanted to get into this really quickly. And for those of you who do not know what shiatsu is based on the Japanese art of massaging and applying pressure to the body on energy lines called meridians. Shiatsu improves health by increasing the flow of energy through the body, and with these movements included in this book, you can perform these exhilarating techniques in the conference room, in a traffic jam, or in other situations when you're in the grip of tension. So if you're tired of popping an aspirin and find it nearly impossible to get out for exercise when you're in the middle of a business transaction, an interview, that labor dispute, or any nerve-tangling situation, let shiatsu come to your rescue. So there's no way you can OD on shiatsu, but it is a tonic. It is a dynamic energy source at your fingertips. It's quick, it's easy, it's safe, and you'll enjoy doing it in 60 seconds. So I'm just going to kind of cover some of the names and just kind of cover what the chapters may say as far as like things that it'll cover in this particular book. But I'm going to kind of go over a little bit of chapter 2 and chapter 4. So chapter 1 is pretty much as you begin. Number 2, which we're going to cover a little bit, is for your head and neck. And that one goes into removing the pain and stiffness, moves for crushing headaches, moves for headache and eye strain, moves for tension, headache, and stop that migraine technique. Chapter 3 is abdominal areas. Chapter 4, so shiatsu is good for abdominal areas, shoulder, and that deep ache inside. So we're going to cover that one. Your shoulders, a lot of people sit at their desks or in their cars. They're sitting a lot through the day, so they can get a lot of tension when they kind of hunch over, things like that, and going through whatever stressors they are. Chapter 5 covers lower intestinal aches. So that's good for, and then number 6, menstrual pains and PMS. So for a lot of females out there, when you guys are going through that time of the month, and you know, Mother Nature will let us know with those cramps, and some people get it, some people don't, some people are doubled over in pain, some people are not. So for those who want to take more of a natural route without having to pop any medicine, reducing that anxious feeling, fighting PMS with your touch, and relief from bloating is covered in chapter 6. They cover insomnia in chapter 7, loosening that tight jaw in chapter 8. If you have a backache, so backache be gone. Chapter 9 moves to making backache pain a bad memory, so you can actually get rid of your pain altogether. Chapter 10, relieving depression. So, and that would be a good one too, because a lot of people I find seem to have some sort of depression or coping with it somehow, some way, but they end up getting on a lot of antidepressants and meds, and that can really cut you off spiritually with yourself, that self-connection, because you're going someplace else, and that's a whole different topic. We'll go into that another time. So chapter 11 is shiatsu for sniffles. So if you have allergies. Chapter 12, relaxing moves. 13, shiatsu for sports. 14, super energizers. 15, total body shape up. 16, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So that's a little shiatsu history, directions for the future. And then chapter 17, shiatsu, a safe and sane alternative, how conventional medicine is using shiatsu. So you'll see a lot of more of the masseuse popping up, massage therapists, and then how to, what you can do to find and locate your local shiatsu therapist. And I know we have some people here, and if you have ever gone to one of the spring healing festivals or any of those, if you go to the one next year, the Spring Healing Festival next year, I'm sure you're going to find a couple people that work with this technique. But I just want to get into it. I want to cover chapter 2. So let's see. I do have some highlights on as you begin. Just really quickly, quick tips. There's no need to push hard because you're using some self-massaging techniques, so there's no need to push super hard. Do the moves that feel right for you, because sometimes there will be moves that maybe won't feel good and they may hurt, so don't do those ones. Do the ones that feel right for you. And according to shiatsu theory, clockwise massage is to energize the body, and the counterclockwise massage is to relax the body. So the wax on, the wax off, if you remember it that way, counterclockwise and clockwise. So clockwise is to energize, counter is to relax. So you're going to be using fingertips and your thumbs, or the fingerprint they call it, and you can apply it at gentle pressure anytime that you need that. So let's go to number 2, head and neck. So this time has come to throw out the non-prescription drugs, pills, liquids, and foaming seltzer compounds, tonics, which are supposed to be miracle cures. So they can bring relief, but not without possible side effects. And if you see all those commercials, vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, you never know what you're going to get and how you're going to react. And if you do, you can handle it, whatnot. But if you don't even want it at all, which is me, I kind of steer away from taking any kind of medication if I can help it. But I don't want side effects. I don't know what's going to be doing to my body, long term. And so I kind of just let it go. I try not to worry about it. But so they have these little graphs, these diagrams, and it tells you where pressure points are. So if you can see here, this is for the head and the neck. So this one here shows you the points in the head. There's 2 points at the head. There's one in your dead center of your chest, so like your sternum. You have one that's in your lower, I don't know where you guys can see that, but in your lower area, your abdomen. There's also one on your left hand in your thumb area, between your thumb and your first finger. And then you have another
for headaches, right? Like deep in
right.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what this section is, head and neck. And so then there's another pressure point that's down on your left leg, just below the knee, to the right, to the left side of that knee, just below it, in the muscle area of the calf.
It makes me think about when I watch karate movies and they're just like, pow!
They hit those pressure points.
Pow!
And they go, they just hit that point.
Pow!
He took it on the left nostril.
Or when they did the thing where they grab the shoulder and you just fall.
Yes.
Evoking death grip.
Yeah.
So to fight back against crushing headaches, and to relax the eyes, follow this routine closely. So we can all try this. This can also be used to stop nosebleeds, stabilize blood pressure, and generally improve your sense of well-being. So if you guys get nosebleeds, I know people who get frequent nosebleeds.
So
and
I can
stuff.
drink vodka again.
So
Say She makes me feel so bad about myself when she's talking about how she doesn't do the medicines, and I'm like, you would not want to see the inside of my purse right now.
Some people take it, some people don't. It's to each their own. But this
Some
one
of them I
particular-
take for the side effects. Like,
right, and that's
do
true,
not
though.
mix with alcohol. Well, that's a
Oh,
coupon.
yeah.
What the?
Yeah, that's so true. They actually
I'm gonna
prescribe
pay for
medicines
one
just
drink.
for
It's gonna
that.
feel like two. I'm getting a
Yeah,
A
yeah,
twofer.
no,
free drink
You
out of
hear
this.
me?
you're right about that. The one makes you nauseous, so you're taking a nausea medicine, and then you're like, oh man, that's hurting my stomach. So now you got to take something for the pain. So it does. You take one medicine, causes side effects. It cause you to take another medicine, can cause you. So
I
then
take
you
stuff
end up
so I don't feel anything. So I'm like, just keep them coming until there's.
right to
I'm numb.
numbing
That's
yourself.
what
For
I'm
the next
going
4 to
for.
6
And
hours.
so this kind of helps you bring back into the perspective, because like when you numb yourself, you're taking away from your spirit and your physical connection, because like that mind is just not allowing your spirit to bring in like
Then how do you explain the hallucinations?
that would
just
be a
kidding.
mental.
My spiritual side, I see ghosts.
Don't we all?
Winner.
Hey, I'm right there with you. So on the back of your neck, find where your spinal column begins. So if everybody can just find that spinal column
We'll do
on
this real
both
quick.
sides of the where you find that spinal column where it starts on the back of your neck, on both sides of this spot are strong muscles, and just slightly further up the sides of the neck are 2 indentations at the base of your skull. Do you guys feel those? I do. Place your thumbs in the indentations and spread your fingers. So you're placing your thumbs in your indentations, and then you're spreading your fingers as a fan shape onto your scalp.
Did I shave today?
I don't even need that book.
So it's like a
dude.
fan
I'm
shape onto your
natural.
scalp.
Like I'm a natural.
Yeah.
I feel this stuff.
And so once you got your fan shape onto your scalp, press or massage these points with your thumbs for 10 seconds. So you have your base of your neck and your fanned out fingers to your skull, and you're just putting pressure for a good 10 seconds. And relax for a moment, and then you repeat it. So within 60 seconds, you'll feel a surge of relief on a kind of a headache.
I've never
or
done the
neck
instruction
pain.
that you gave, putting the hands on the head and then rubbing with the thumbs, but I have sleep apnea, and I get sore right back there, so I've rubbed back there, but just putting my hands up here and doing it, it does actually give a different sensation.
Right, because you're putting those pressure points up more and bringing, that does.
Yeah,
You
it
should
does,
try
it does,
sitting
it does,
on your
yeah.
hands for a while until they're numb, and then doing that.
That would be fun.
You can't feel your hands after that.
I know.
I know,
Then
but your head,
I'd
it
be
would
looking,
feel like
I'd be
someone
looking for
else
some
was doing
circulation.
it.
Like, hey, is it bringing circulation back to my hands, or am I really getting some relief?
I hate the feeling of when my hands
It's
are
the
asleep.
stranger
I cannot
massage.
stand it. It's
Yeah.
like tingling and weird.
It's
Yeah.
funny, yeah.
Like if you ever wake up at night and you put your hand on your pillow or something and then fell asleep and you're like,
So to cover
That's
really
the worst.
quickly, headache and eye strain, because then, falling asleep, you're just like, oh man, I gotta maintain this, but I got this headache, and I'm like straining. Locate the middle portion of each eyebrow in a small hollow about the middle. So remember I had kind of showed that little diagram where there's those 2 points. Your eyebrows area.
Wake up your third eye.
Right. Yeah, there you go. So to fight back against that, what you're going to do is
I can't wake up my lazy eye. I
Yeah.
don't know what you're
I just take my
talking about.
glasses off.
locate
It
the
does
middle
wonders.
portion of each eyebrow in a small hollow in the middle. So massage or
portion.
press
Oh.
the middle portion, and there's like a little divot, like the hollow they call it, but it's a little indentation. Massage or press one eyebrow at this point for a slow count of 10. So massage 1 for a slow count of 10. Release and repeat on the other side for another count of 10. So release and repeat the process from the beginning twice or more
6.
at a length, so if you're at a lengthy meeting and you're like falling asleep. Oh my gosh, I was doing this with my trainer the other day. I feel so bad because I was like in her face and she's training, but I had been training and listening to so much information, and I could feel myself falling asleep. Had I had this technique right at my fingertips, no pun intended, I would have.
Stop making it weird.
I would have had.
You're
that
making
there.
it weird,
I
Marcelis.
mean, she just busted out this massage book. I thought we were just gonna touch upon it.
This
Now
guy's
we're handing out different workouts and stuff.
Yeah, we want to give them
I'm
some
trying to-
tips.
okay,
so
so
this is
if
for
we're gonna
your
do
eye
it-
enjoying
strain.
it too much. Now we can't enjoy it enough.
Yeah,
Now if we're
Because
gonna
you're
do it,
sucking all the enjoyment out of the room.
Well, I'm that guy,
And
0 or
your face.
100.
So that's a couple of those tension headaches at your widow's peak. And then here's a movement especially designed for migraines. If you have warnings before headache strikes, which I do, there's a good set of
You get
shiatsu
those
moves.
zigzags.
The
the squiggly. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I get, yeah. Well, I won't go into my, but I feel a little headache. Once I feel, I don't get headaches. So once I feel a headache coming, that's the start of a migraine for me because I don't get headaches. So once I do find myself getting a headache, I'm like, oh, got to catch that before it grows because it'll grow into a migraine because I don't get those. So between attacks, rub the neck and the back as far as you can reach. So go as far down in your back of your neck and your back as far as you can reach and apply a slow pressure for a count of 5 just below the navel and 4 inches below the top of the knee on the outside of the calf. So top of the knee on the outside of the calf. That's where you're going to find relief for your migraines. And then just really quickly, I got a couple seconds to hit chapter 4. And chapter 4 is about shoulders and that deep ache inside. So if you guys are sitting down at your desk a lot and you're having a lot of tension, those pressure points, and when the camera pans back, I'll show you what those pressure points are, and you can find those. I think it's that camera up there, but I'm not going to reach all the way. But if you can see, it's on the shoulder. It's in the middle of the back, kind of at your shoulder blade. The back of your bicep.
You gotta wait for it to
I
come.
know.
There you go.
It's taking a long time. So there you go. Your shoulder. By your shoulder blade, the back of your arm, and then you have your hand, and then down at the calf. So those are going to be some places for you guys to relieve some tension for your neck and your shoulder area, believe it or not. So you're going to massage those areas, the tightness in the shoulders. You're just going to go ahead and find that spot and just put some tension, pressure in there. Massage for 4 or 5 times. That 10-second pressure is what they're looking at. So, yeah. Anyways, you guys can find that in shiatsu. You can locate a book and any information about shiatsu at your local libraries that are now open a little bit longer, even on Saturdays. The Cesar Chavez Library that's downtown, they're open and now open on Saturdays for people to have places to go and things to do. You can go check on some shiatsu. You can also go to the Fair Oaks Library that is also now open thanks to the efforts of some locals in the area making sure that got done when they weren't going to do that, and see if they have some information on shiatsu. And you can also go to your local bookstores to find those. And there's a bookstore, I actually forgot this at the Miracle Mile, the bookstore down here, Miracle Mile Bookstore. So thanks, Fong, for having that available to us.
How much is that book?
So I got this book at a used bookstore at the Miracle Mile Bookstore over here, and it was only a couple dollars because they have a lot of used books and stuff.
How much for just chapters 8 through 10?
I don't know. On the back of this one it says
Photocopy.
$8.95.
I'm all
So,
10,
less
all
than
10 cents a page.
less than $10.
Photocopy.
Less than $10, but there you go.
That's a lot of money.
So if you guys want to go ahead and check that out,
how much for chapters 8 through 10?
we're going to go ahead and move on through to a break, and we'll be back with Molly Magee.
We'll be right back, guys.
I'll be here.
My name is Miriam, and I am the voice of Stockton.
Attention, Stockton. Are you experiencing a transition in business, relationships, health, or your life purpose? I'm Darius Oliver, and I help people to look within and find clarity and direction in their constantly changing lives. Tune in and listen with me as I go deep into your patterns and personal cycles through divine numerology. Any life transition you're experiencing can be illuminated by an in-depth analysis of your chart. For the first time in Stockton, you now have access to a professional numerologist here to help you light your own way. I'm in the booth to help you find your own truth. Tune in to Divine Numerology every Friday at 3 p.m. on The Voice of Stockton.